ESL Season 22 is live, the action is packed, and you're on queued up where the lobby's open, the mics are hot, and nobody is dodging. With me today, Pat, Davis, Dylan. Dylan and Pat are no longer dodging. They weren't with us last week, but they are here this week, so we can talk about the things that matter, right, Pat?
No.
He's just sad that we're not talking about Valorant. It's fine. It was a fine experience, just like OniPixel. We took a little vacation.
Experience.
Took a vacation. We're back to a real game now.
I honestly was throwing you a softball so you could just destroy the Mongolz so we could just get it over with. And we
No,
they did that to themselves. No, we don't need to do that. Self-inflicted.
Well, one of the things we work a lot on here on the Global Gaming Network, I know we're on Queued Up, but we do a lot of different episodes. We have a lot of different shows where we talk about every game and all the different pieces. And one of the things we do are the top plays of the week. And we actually captured stage 1 and 2 top plays of the week. There's normally 10 of them. We're going to watch 5 of them here with you today. And we're just going to talk about the top plays and some of the teams that are in there. Enjoy that footage with you. So feel free to roll that stuff while we watch the clips. But overall, tournament's been pretty cool, and the top 5s are pretty dope, right?
I don't think either team really knows how the great
This is a live reaction, too. We have not seen these. We are watching them raw.
I do love me some Hots.
I'm glad that he's not looking like hot garbage, and he's actually
he's winning this.
A great player.
This is the Modesty Magic moment.
Feels good. Well,
He did have a good event, for sure. He's had a way better event this time than he has historically.
don't jinx it. Man.
I was about to say, the main thing is hopefully they can close it out. Ooh. He had a couple of them.
Well, now he's kind of got to win this now, Yabi.
Yeah.
Low key though, if this is a 1v1 with Magic though, I think yes.
Dude, Magic's had a good double there.
Dude,
on
he
that
did.
one, right?
Alex, little Gentlemates action. Gentlemates, what a tournament they had.
Yeah. Yeah, Aurora, one of the forgotten teams as well that was kind of in here, and I don't know. I don't even know what to say.
Now they're forgotten and gone.
We'll talk about them in a little bit.
Yeah, it's true. Good point.
Dude, but the Gentlemates did, not in this game in particular, but versus Vitality, dude, they came out so good. Alex is a huge part of that.
They probably want to take another fight
So good.
committing to the plant here, and they're going to do just
They
that.
would have been
Alex
on
is going to be
his
swinging around. Big couple
double
shots
kill
there.
there.
Bring it back
Yeah.
to the 2v2, and
Probably
he wants to
gonna
keep on covering, but Woxic on the tight line won't
How
hit the
did
first
he
shot
hit in a row?
and gets that door shut right in his face. A chance now, knowing that the plant is going down, he could potentially isolate his first fight, hoping Martinez swings off that contact.
With it.
And you can see
Dude, the
that
patience
shadow
is
dancing
unreal.
around out in the open. Alex.
I thought the clip was going to be Woxic about to turn that one around. It was Alex, but
Oh, here we go. Here's
Yeah,
the, here's the,
I mean, fair play.
okay, that was nice.
Yeah, that was nice.
Which is it.
That's nice.
Both
Alex,
have responsibility
the younger.
too, aren't they?
Because me and Pat were traveling, we didn't get to watch a lot of this,
My
so
God.
a chunk of this is pretty net new.
Out
How
towards
about Maka, bro? Ever since we stopped IGL.
Oh, I think I remember this clip. This one's
from him, but now he starts
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
2 1-tap. Yeah.
very clean.
Can we do it again?
I mean, 3D Max had a
Dude, you know the clip's hot whenever like you're excited. Like,
Sure.
whenever
Yeah,
you're animated, dude, that's when it's hot.
Dunk.
The legend himself.
And he's going to say good
This
night.
actually,
It's not even spectacular.
Look,
It's
a
just
double,
And the
triple.
flash creating some kind
Let's
of
see
space,
another.
but
Is he
not
playing
yet.
FACEIT or is this like against pros? Or,
And
like,
he's
what
seeing
is it?
2020
Dude, it's
here.
Inner Circle, buddy, okay? I've never
Dude.
heard him before in my life.
He did have his like worst map of his career versus,
In terms of getting those.
But
Be modesty.
but not that play.
Yoda.
Oh no, this plays ham.
Split this effectively. They're going to be running into 3 CTs though. Very strong setup.
The spray transfer.
Oh my gosh, he's blind, too.
Yeah.
Go get another. Yes, sir.
Hey.
And we're not done.
Okay.
That's-
That was actually insane. That was
insane.
insane.
Absolutely ruthless.
It was. I mean, and we do this content every week, so make sure to go like some of the other top plays. We do it for all the games. And if you find a clip that you think deserves to be in top plays, go ahead and comment below so that we can go ahead and snag that one, throw it in. But we love doing that content. It's a lot of fun to watch. And it really just picks up the biggest moments from the Counter-Strike action that's been going on. So
What's crazy about those is when you think about those biggest moments, you seemingly don't think about FaZe, do you?
not often enough, right? But we are going to talk about FaZe.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
One of the things that's been going on with FaZe, so I didn't really recap this. Let me go back to it. ESL Season 22, we've gone through Stage 1. We're now in Stage 2. This kind of happened in the beginning when FaZe showed up for Stage 2, but ultimately, FaZe showed up with a roster to compete that had a couple players that couldn't actually play on it, right? They had just recently dropped Rain, and they brought Twist from Liquid, right? So they have a new roster, they show up. But when they qualified last July, they had a completely different roster. Go ahead and show those tweets for us real quick. Here's the first one where we're talking, we have the ESL showing up saying, ESL shows up and says, hey, these guys have shown up, and they're going to forfeit their first match against G2. So they start in the groups or in the Swiss stage 0-1, right?
I like how it says FaZe Clan have decided to forfeit this match. I don't think they made that choice. We were literally sitting like, we were at the VCT thing, sitting there, and I read this from like inside people saying, hey, rumor is right now FaZe are going to have to DQ the first round because they needed at least 3 active players because technically at the major you had Simple, you had Rain, and then at the time you didn't have Brokey, you didn't have Twist.
Go to the next tweet for us so we can see it actually has the rosters. There you go.
Yep.
So here was the original, which was Karrigan, Frozen, Simple, Elige, and Rain, like you just said. And then the current one they brought was Karrigan, Frozen, Brokey, Jacob, and Twist.
Yep, you need to have 3 of those cats. So what is weird to me is you bring in Rain back, you let Twiz stay, but you didn't let Jacob, who's actually already played with the team. You let Twiz rip for the first time.
Yeah, and the other
That's
thing,
weird.
this story gets a little weirder in the fact that, so that happens. They have to forfeit their first match.
Yep.
You just let go of Rain, and you make a phone call, and you say, hey, Rain, will you come back and play? I know, because there's another, he was out with his friends, he was doing something, but willing to show up and play. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, a little hungover, but whatever.
Yeah, that's right.
We
I
ball.
think it just shows like how much of a bromance this team is. It's like the same way you said, like Twiz, he hasn't played with them in recent times, but he has been a FaZe player in the past. So when he comes back, it's like, nah, I gotta play. I want to play. And they, you know, Jacob's been on the team for a couple of events now, but he doesn't have the longevity in the team like Twiz does. Even though he left, Twiz has had more of an impact on the team. So they're like, you're gonna be the one that plays here. Rain, same with you. I think it's a little awkward too because they've now made playoffs. What if they go on a run and it's like, okay, but Rain's leaving?
Well, and Jacob is there. Like, you're seeing him in the interviews. He's actually on the couch, like, sitting with the guys. So, like, there's a little bit of, like, some of it's just business. Like, hey, we're just sitting down, getting our business done and going and doing this. But it is also a little bit like, hey, we know Rain's leaving after this next one. So the next tweet on here, if you throw it up for us, is Rain is going to leave, right? And he's also got options. He's got teams he can go talk to. There's folks that have reached out and said, hey, we still want you to play with us. So there is this awkwardness in the air of, like, yes, I'm doing this last nice gift for you. I'm kind of holding on to my stock with this organization, but I am going to leave and go do other things.
Dude, it feels like the inverse / exact same thing that Twiz did because Twiz gave Liquid such a good farewell present.
Yeah.
But dude, if you're Rain right now, like this is the best setup. It's like you basically have to go to a wedding with your ex, but then everybody is giving you nothing but compliments. You're like, dude, this is about to be the best time. Because like he's not supposed to be there. Like no matter what he does, it's net good. He hasn't practiced with the team. He's playing with new players. So anything he does at this event is going to be a net positive. I don't think he's looked the best, but he's also playing different roles and doing weird stuff. I don't think they're leaving him out to dry and to make him look bad. But like, dude, if you're him, you just got all the morale points you ever need. You're going to be fine.
How do you think Jacob is feeling, Davis?
I don't think he feels. I think he feels probably pretty left out, in my opinion. Like he wants to play. Obviously, this is his team that he's on, and I do think he's probably being a little respectful about it because he probably looks at Rain and like, look, y'all used to play together, you and Twiz, you know, have this last event. But I mean, at the end of the day, as a competitor, it is ESL too. It's like a big tournament. Like he wants to be the one playing for sure, but obviously, like you said, it's business. So he probably is just like, whatever. I'm not playing, so I have to be cool with it.
Yeah, I think it's funny because, like, for him, he probably doesn't, I would assume he doesn't feel any sort of way about it, but social media is just eating it alive. Just because he's already kind of got a little bit of bad rep already from the community, from the FaZe fans, because of how FaZe has been performing.
You're saying
And
Karrigan
now-
specifically has a little bit of a bad.
Well, no,
That's given. That's given.
Well, that one. Well, actually, he still has a lot of support. But
Yeah.
Jacob or Jacob, what are you gonna
Yeah.
call him? I mean, he's sitting on the bench, so it's like social media's eating him alive and just saying like, oh, he's on a loan, he's not coming back.
Yeah.
Like,
Got it.
I mean, from that perspective, it looks bad. But for him personally, I mean, I'm sure he understands, or at least I'd hope to like.
But it's also house money. Like, dude, if they go on a run and they make the semi to the finals, like,
Oh.
I mean, I think their bracket isn't the most favorable, but it's like if they did go on a crazy run and they make it to the semis in this, and you don't make it to the semis the rest of the year, yeah, you're gonna feel bad. Like,
Well,
you're
dude,
not gonna feel good.
Rain's going to carry the points with them too. So whatever organization gets the extra points for whatever they have for the next thing. So that's kind of securing not maybe this major, but the major after that for sure.
Yeah.
I also have, and I'm so sorry, Mr. Production, Mark in the back. I love you so much, buddy. Can you guys roll the clip of Karrigan kind of playing his trolley thing that ESL did?
All right, guys. I know you all kind of expected this day to come. As players, I've always said, you need to leave the game before the game leaves you. And recently, with age,
No, bro. I just want to say congrats. I think the career you had has been a hell of a one.
Thanks, mate. I'll pass on the message.
A message?
To Rain.
I thought you were leaving.
Can I just say, there's two things that are very serendipity with this moment. The first thing is the fact they got these players to shoot this commercial, which is kind of hilarious. And then secondarily, they got them to shoot the commercial while the chaos is going on with all the stuff, with Rain, with Jacob, all that stuff. That's wild.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. They did the same thing with Falcons, where it was the Saudi money thing, joking about how much KSOK cost and all that other stuff. It's like, dude, ESL doesn't play. However, with that being said, I think when everybody saw this video, for a moment, the Counter-Strike community was rejoicing. Like for about, I think that video was 40 seconds. So for about 34 seconds, I think the CS community was like, oh my God.
It's time.
It's time. The world is healing. And then here we are.
Yeah, there was a lot of tweets that basically were like Karrigan leaving, and we've talked about it on the show. Karrigan gets a lot of hate. I think Karrigan's actually had a great event this time too. He's been playing good these last stages.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep. It's not bad for an old IGO.
Yeah, they obviously did make it to playoffs. If we want to roll through some of the stats, we can look at some of the matches here. But ultimately, let's start with the bracket. So the bracket shows up, and we're able to see who are 3-0 teams here. We got some Spirit and Falcons. We're going to talk about them next. But we do see FaZe. They beat Aurora. They make it to the playoffs. They are going to face off somebody on the top there, which is Spirit in the end. So we'll be able to talk through those things. But they had a tough road. I say a tough road. They played Astralis first.
Yeah,
I wouldn't call this a tough road.
The way that they bounced back, though, I mean, at this point when they're playing Astralis for their first win, they were 0-2. They had the forfeit loss, and then they lost their second match to someone. I can't remember who it was, but they lost their second match. And then this is where they're back against the wall. You have to win, and they arrived in the moment. Which Astralis was not looking good either by any means.
Look at that Magic's down there, baby. Dropped in.
They were, for sure. I mean,
Look at
it's
FaZe
green
there,
and
bro.
red, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm
So-
saying. All green for FaZe, too. That's something you don't normally see.
It is not. And look at my boy Karrigan.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, but
1.1.
Astralis has qualified for the major.
I'll say he's
for the first
positive in
5
the
years.
game.
Good for them.
Yeah, I mean, the Astralis qualification is definitely part of this story here because they didn't have a great event. They didn't make some playoffs here, but they are definitely in the running for a team that I'm looking at for sure, kind of like a Na'Vi.
Dude, if they don't become an international roster, there's a check that would suck.
Agreed.
Because I just don't think you can do it. I mean, it was crazy. We went through like a 10-year window where it felt like if you were any degree of elite level Counter-Strike player, then you came from one specific country and you played on Astralis. And then now it's like there's hardly any Danes. It's insane to not see them there. Another cool thing from that playoff qualifier is that last day's matchups went perfectly incorrect. Because if we would have had the other 3 teams win, it would have been the first time, I think, in any event, the top 8 teams in VRS ranking are playing each other in a bracket. And it went the opposite of that because you had Aurora lose, you had G2 lose, and then you had the Mongolz lose.
Yeah, and obviously FaZe being able to make it out of here too, going 0-1 in the beginning. We saw the Swiss stage was pretty violent to a couple teams, but it was not violent to 2 teams in particular. Spirit and Falcons look great this whole event.
I was really happy to see Falcons arrive. Obviously, I've been a fan of them for a while, and they hadn't looked the same. But at this event, they've really kind of taken over. And Monacy especially, he's really been really, really good.
Yeah.
He's had a few, I mean, we saw one of his clips in the top 5, but he had another play on Ancient that was like actually almost the best clip ever if he would have got the last kill. But
yeah.
Got robbed. But yeah, Tanir for Spirit, I think, has been a great addition, which I was saying a little bit beforehand, and I feel like that's really helping round out the Spirit roster. And that's no disrespect to them or anything, but it's like usually it's just Donk Show, as per typical, maybe a little bit of Shiro, but I think he's made a great addition and being able to hold up better points, better angles on the team, and hold his positions a little bit better. And I think they're looking pretty solid right now. And like we said, it's looking like it's going to lead to that Spirit Falcons finals.
I do think, too, of like, I was pretty bullish on this last time in the sense of I thought it would be an easy pick to pick them to not go 3-0, just because you do have Tanir coming in for the first time. Spirit does tend to start a little bit slow. It's very easy for them to drop a first game. It's very infrequent for them to go perfect in any Swiss format or any tournament format like that. So it's one of those where it's like, okay, cool, we're going to maybe come out, start slow. They had a really bad second map, but, dude, they picked it up quick. As soon as they started rolling, as soon as they started moving through, it actually felt like, for the first time watching Spirit play, since they won the major last year in Shanghai, is like you actually have 3 players that can carry around. You actually have 3 players that can make big, impactful moments. Now, 90% of the time, it's still Donk, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But the other 10% of the times, you got 2 guys now, so that's nice.
I mean, Inner Circle and Hotu showing up being lower seed teams that didn't do well. They went 0-3 for both of them, but they put up fights against some of the big teams, and there was a lot of upsets in one round. Round one of the Swiss, but ultimately Falcons and Spirit being on top here is not necessarily surprising. Like, I think they should. If I were to pick a team to be on top, I could pick those two teams. I might pick a Vitality, who did not look great either, right?
Smoke versus Gentlemates. But other than that, I mean, they have looked decent. But what's weird is it feels like the Monacy Curse just got transitioned to Zywu.
Yeah.
Because he just seemed so mortal.
Yeah, absolutely. And these two teams, I'm excited to watch both of them play, if I'm honest. I like Tanier on this roster as well. I think that he's been a big upgrade. I would agree with you completely, Pat, on that side.
Yeah. I think it's really special for him, too, to come in and play like he has so far, with it being his first event with the team. Brand new environment. And a team like Spirit, who has, a lot of, they're recognized as one of the top teams. You have Donk, who's like the best player in the world, trying to match that and be as good as you can. He's done really well.
Cool. Let's go to the feeds. Let's talk about some of the other things going on around the league, unless anybody else has any closing comments. Nope. Let's rock it. Okay, cool. First feed on the list here. We're going a little bit back to FaZe. I saw this video. I thought it was pretty cool in the fact that FaZe did a collaboration with Roblox, and they played against a top-tier Roblox team, but they're playing Counter-Strike inside of Roblox. So it is interesting to kind of see. And if you look, I mean, even at that picture there, the models are the same, right? So you play the same maps. Obviously, the movement of the characters is going to be a little bit goofy. I don't know if have you guys played any of these Roblox games before?
I've actually played this. It's been a while since I played this, but it's actually pretty clean. Not gonna lie.
Well, they got smoked by the top Counter-Strike Roblox team, which I don't think that's really surprising. But it is cool from the collaboration between where do Counter-Strike players come from? Well, young kids are playing Roblox, and how can they grow into the game? This is a great example of them at least getting their toes wet on the jumping in the pool before they actually play Counter-Strike themselves.
As an NA fanboy, I agree that I think the young North American fans are playing Roblox. But like, bro, Donk was playing actual CS at like 6. Now, I don't disagree Americans not doing that. So I do hope this helps American Counter-Strike. Anything at this point, just please save NA. That's all I'm asking.
I just can't believe that Roblox is at a point now where like these games are being built inside the game, and like it's actually really cool. It looked like an old CS in my opinion.
1.6 basically.
Yeah, it looks like 1.6 just playing it on Roblox. So really cool.
Yeah, fun collaboration. And if you play Roblox, give it a shot. Try some Counter-Strike. I don't know how it feels. I would imagine it feels pretty clunky comparatively.
Yeah, I would assume so.
You would know.
It's been many years since I played it, so I don't exactly know. But like, it's pretty good at imitating pretty close.
Is it?
It acts fundamentally the same, but obviously there is a few nuances. But other than that, I mean, if you don't have access to Counter-Strike, and this is free to play as well. Just boom.
Isn't
Easy
CS
money.
also free to play?
Yeah, it is now.
Yeah. Okay.
No. In order to play Counter-Strike, you have to buy skins. And after buy skins,
Well, yeah,
you have to
Counter-
roll.
well,
that.
No.
So
But
it's
what
kind
about
of pay to
Roblox?
play.
How about the Roblox game?
Well, when I played the Roblox Counter-Strike, Counter-Strike was not free at that time.
Oh,
Okay, it has went through some transitions. Okay,
Yeah.
It was
Well,
$20, I think.
But could
it
you,
wasn't real expensive.
but can you get the skins? Can I get my Karambit in the Roblox?
Oh, yeah.
If so, how much
Yeah.
does it cost?
Oh, really?
I'm
I
sure.
don't know. I don't know how much Robux cost, but they have skins on there for sure, 100%.
That's dope.
They actually have some crazy ones on there
That's pretty dope.
that are not in.
Probably
like,
not nearly
Counter-Strike.
as expensive as a real.
Oh no,
skin.
but they probably are running some kids for their mother and father's bank accounts for sure.
Now that says a good time, like
Yeah, Davis, what's your feed?
So mine is actually, I want to talk, because we kind of mentioned it earlier about ESL does it so well, and I think their content is really good. And so first we're going to talk how they had every single team that was in this stage 2 rank each other to see how they go up against each other, how teams see other teams matching up against them. And so as we kind of cycle through here, I want you to notice one thing, because it's been a topic of debate that all of us have talked about in multiple episodes. Every single team out of the 16 teams that are on here, Mongolz are top 3 in the world.
Oh, I see.
Every single one.
That's a great point, Davis. I'm so glad you brought that up.
And majority of them, Mongolz is 1 and 2. There's a couple that have Mongolz at 3, but they're in there.
Yeah, it's
Dude, FaZe. No, Navi has Spirit at 6.
That's
They're throwing some.
That's
shade.
the reason they're going home.
They're Ukrainian org. They're Ukrainian org.
I suppose. Oh, that hurts.
I do find it interesting
There's
how
Spirit #1.
Yeah, when people look at, I mean, Furia being way down there for these guys as well is interesting. They have Aurora a little bit higher for Ho2. I like that they also do the numbers on the side, so it's easy to kind of find the
Astralis
outliers.
15. I love this.
Astralis 15. That is funny.
Dude, M80 thinks that G2 and Fury are the best.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
That's a crazy take right there.
Why are they red? It's got to be red because it's like, what the heck are you talking about?
The other thing that's cool about this is they normally do interviews with the players, so you actually get to see like why they rank them, and so they talk a little bit about it, which is, I think, just right on brand with your ESL content being really good. And like I said, serendipity in the fact that they normally find some kind of like thing that's a very serious issue and make a video out of it and kind of turn it into something silly.
Yeah, 100%.
It's also crazy to me looking at that list. This is no shade to the Mongolz or Vitality. Vitality is the most dominant team for half the year. They have not looked good in the past couple of weeks. And the fact that everyone is still afraid of them is pretty crazy.
That is crazy.
And it's also the fact that Donk is on another team, and he was first in one of those. No one else had them won. In the last few events, they have the best average finish of ones they've competed in. They just don't compete a lot.
I think it's just because like they feel like that's just the Donk show, and like
I don't disagree.
We can just take care of him. We can beat the team. But I mean, I think it's understandable. I don't have a problem. As much as I hate on the Mongolz, I don't have a problem being up there in the top 3. I just was laughing at being number 1 because I don't think they're nowhere near close to being number 1.
The other teams do. They think they're at least in the top 3.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Hey, you can say they know more than me because they're professional players. They go against these players, so they understand. But I'm just saying the Mongolz, or as we can see from this tournament here, they're very hit or miss. A lot more than somebody like Vitality or Spirit.
Totally, and that's mine. I was like, if I'm betting my money on something, I would not bet on them consistently. I would consistently bet on Vitality. I would consistently bet on Spirit. I'd probably bet on Mals more than Mongolz. Again, if I'm spending my money to bet on something.
I think it comes into the psychology of the teams and the individual players that are ranking each other. Because like it says a lot that Spirit is not number 1 on those. They're not scared of Spirit. They will play Spirit and they think they can play them well, which is maybe wrong, right?
It's just like golf. The strategy's easy. Just kill Donk. Like, that's the strategy. Now, I'm not saying it's actually easy. I'm just saying the strategy is easy.
I agree, but I think believing that you can win is half the battle in some of those ways. And so they just believe they can beat Spirit, which I think goes against Spirit because when a team believes they have hope they can beat you, it makes them a little bit easier to beat.
It's wild to me that they don't feel that way about Vitality, though.
Yeah, I know, right?
Because Vitality is beatable right now.
And I think that was one of the biggest things that carried Vitality through their run in the early part of the year is teams genuinely didn't believe that they could beat them, and they would just get steamrolled in the playoffs. Like, they would make it to that moment where it's do or die, and it's like, can we really beat these guys on land in the playoff?
No. I had one as well that basically just directly piggybacks off this.
Yeah.
Today they released a clip that was effectively, or a video, that was, they basically did pick up basketball, but for Counter-Strike. They did the highest rated FACEIT match ever. It was Team Kosuke versus Monesi. They did a draft pick. Donk wasn't picked first. Monesi picked Nico because he's his homie. But dude, it was for 100 elo. This match was an incredible match to watch. It was cool to watch, arguably 10 of the best players in the world go at it. But to see like Donk, Zywoo, and all those guys like just having fun, seeing lighthearted Donk was the most S tier. Dude started off 7-0. And then literally was trolling. In the end, I think he finished I think it was like 20-12. Zywoo was like 19-17. Kiyosuke's team dominated. Like, easy domination. Soon as the match was over, Donk immediately goes, like, basically, give me that elo. This was free elo, 300 elo. Make sure you take theirs too, which was super, super sick. But yeah, I also think this kind of goes to your point of ESL just does the coolest stuff. Seemingly, Sponge just wanted to do something fun and different on media because he's tired of the boring stuff. So this is what they did. It's like, it's so cool to see these moments. And like, as a fan, like, you actually get to see more of the players.
Yeah, I love the intro stuff. I love especially when you can kind of create a dream team. Like some of those, like, yo, I'd love to see Donk and Zywoo play together. Like, does that work long term? Can they win a major like that? And so when you talk about it theoretically, it's very different than when you actually get to see it happen and you're like, oh, yo, when Kosuke, Donk, and Zywoo are on the same team, like, that's a tough team to beat. And when Nico gets picked by Monesi first, that's not a tough team to beat. And that's weird because the Falcons sometimes are not a tough team to beat. So
yeah. It's also fun to see them play in more like a pickup game type of manner instead of like we're playing as a 5-stack with all of our strats. Like, I'm sure there was a lot of rounds where people were just ego-challenging things, trying to limit tests and do fun stuff like that. So it's really cool to see because, I mean, they're tremendous pro players. They can pull off crazy things. So fun to watch them try to do, as much as they can.
It's also, as a Counter-Strike player, like, sometimes you're like, on a site, I play XYZ site, so I always play B, so I only know B smokes and flashes and stuff. So it's like, if you put me A, it was like weird moments where like, I don't know the flashes on this one. I'm like, good luck. Like,
also, like, you don't know strats. The dude from the Mongolz was like joking about like, I normally don't play in English, so this is very odd. And neither does Donk, so it's like, it's cool for those moments. What about you, Pat?
Yeah, no, I thought this was really cool. I do like the ESL stuff, and even on the last season they had the really cool videos and stuff like this. So I think they always are doing fun and creative stuff, and this one has been pretty crazy as well. I know at one point in the office they were playing the video, and I looked over and I thought the screen was like glitching out because they were just doing like the little switching scenes like back and forth between players like constantly. Yeah. It's just always crazy stuff, and it's very fun to see. And pickup games like this, I think, are very fun because, like you said, it plays into those theoretical things that people like to theorize, and to be able to see them have fun and do that, it's just a whole lot of fun.
Here's an idea for them if they want it. You take fans from the crowd, 5 Vitality fans and like 5 Spirit fans, and just put them on the stage and have them play against each other.
It would be Bronze Sub Wars from League.
It would be terrible.
And then you bring like those 2 teams, and they sit behind them.
They
the
coach.
Fans.
Oh no, they coach. Yeah. No, I do think one nugget from this for me though is watching Donk interact in the way that he did, as happy as he was.
Yeah, totally.
For sure tells me if they don't win this major, that dude's gone. Like, he's working on English, and like, dude, he had fun. And it's like, I have never seen him in a Spirit jersey have so much fun as I did in a pickup game today. And it's like, well, what is this team doing to suck the fun from this poor little kid?
Dude, clip it. If it doesn't happen, Dylan. Pat, go ahead. Give us your feed, man.
So my feed is more back to the FaZe conversation because I know I love to talk about them so much. And it basically just, it's like if you go on social media, if you go on Twitter, specifically a certain group within Twitter that talks about Counter-Strike all the time, it's just you get this combination of a bunch of stuff. And it's like the Jacob stuff I was talking about earlier. But here, the tweet is just like this guy just saying, I speak for everyone. I say, like, kick Jacob, which I was saying earlier about social media stuff, and bring back Rain. And it's just like, I think FaZe fans are just constantly grasping at straws to make it feel like their team is good again. Don't get me wrong, they're doing better right now in the Pro League than they have looked previously, but we've also seen them go through these little honeymoon phases. Karrigan is actually doing good for once. I think after like 73 series, he is finally dropping positive ratings. So it's like, I'm not saying that's just the reason they're winning, but the fans are just delusional and looking for anything they can to try to make this roster good and better and like just kick this guy, put this guy in, do this. It's just, it's a mess for the FaZe fans right now.
I think it's interesting because I didn't think about this, the big brain play, because one of the issues I had that I didn't talk about when we were talking about the FaZe roster changes, I don't know as a team manager or an organization how you can show up to a tournament and not realize you're breaking a rule with the eligible players on your team. Like, you paid thousands of dollars to get to that spot and didn't check the rule book to make sure you could actually play based off your roster. So it's so interesting that this did happen in this way. And the big brain play would be to let something like this unfold and then actually do it and drop Jacob and keep Rain, because that makes the most sense to me. Now, I don't think that's actually what's happening, but it'd be big brain to do that stuff.
What do you got?
I agree with what the guy said. He speaks for us all.
There you go.
Bring Rain back, kick Jacob.
Really? You like that?
Yeah.
I think that would be so disingenuous. That'd be terrible.
I mean, it might be mean to Jacob, but
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Business as usual.
For sure, BAU. Dude, to me, it's wild because it's like when you think about like the general manager kind of hat and like what you would want to do to make this good. Even if you're a FaZe fan, no matter what, like if you are not currently in the ability to sign a donk type player, if you're not in the ability to lure somebody off of Vitality, and if you can't spend more money than the Falcons, like literally, what can you do? Like, I think the Mongolz have done a good job. You built a national-based team from your country, and you gave them every resource humanly possible to make them as good as you can get. We saw that worked, obviously, with Astralis for a really, really long time. But, like, other than that, like, if you're FaZe, like, who do you buy? Like, what player can you buy right now? Like, if you Donk might be on the market, and that's literally it. Your only other option is weird stuff like Simple and other dudes like that to test. But, like, you're grasping straws.
You weren't on the show last week. We talked about how much Simple makes.
Yeah.
It's 130 grand a month.
Yeah, it's a good gig.
I don't think he's leaving.
Well, it depends on the duration of the contract. He's going to have to play good at the end to get the next one.
That's a good
I
point.
was saying, Rain's going there. He's going to go play with
Oh, that would be hot. Yeah.
He's IGLing the Falcons.
Dude, I can't believe
Dude, they do that. They knock off FaZe. Oh, that'd go so hard.
it would. Speaking of the Mongolz, we're going to talk about the Mongolz for a second. They played 5 games, and I'm telling you what, I'm disappointed in them. If I were going to say something about them, I'd say, my bad. Let's get the next one. Okay, let's get the bad one out right before the major. That's me as the number one Mongolz fan on the show. But they did not have a great showing for this one, and I am sad because of that.
I think not having a great showing is like FaZe squeaking into the playoffs. I think not having a great showing is Vitality getting smoked by Gentlemates, but still making the playoffs. I think a terrible showing is getting bounced in a stage where you basically were a lock. You came in as the world #1 and you couldn't make bracket play. You're scrapping versus teams
O2 and Inner Circle.
O2 and Inner Circle.
It's bad.
And those teams barely made it into the first stage.
I agree. I'm with you completely.
And
I
like,
deserve this.
Don't get me wrong; those teams were on a hot streak during this tournament, but still, like you said, you're the #1 team, Mongolz. Like you gotta beat at least one of those guys.
They beat the GamerLegion guys. Look at this. See?
Yeah.
What's crazy is if we're color coordinating here, we've got quote 2 good GL guys and 1 good Mongol player. Like the inconsistency was insane. I mean, we didn't really get to see Techno sign up that well or show up that well. 9-10 was pretty inconsistent. Mazinho didn't look good. Like it just felt like the whole team was disorganized. It's not like with Falcons recently. It's been like, oh, Monty plays well, they're going to be winning. Right now, it's like, dude, your whole team needs to play better. Like this is crazy.
That's what I'm saying. The Mongols they look lost sometimes, and it's like they can't ever get out of that. And that's why it's like for me, it's always like I can't get behind them being so high up on the list of people because like if you get them on a good day, yeah, they're a really good team. Problem is they have so many bad days and so many days where they just look lost. And like until they can like get better at that, specifically 9-10, like I know we talk about Zywu going through his slump and all that, but like 9-10, man, like he will go from looking like a Monacy clone to looking like a bottom 60 opper, just missing the most easiest shots like constantly. It's insane the gap between those. It's just crazy.
For the same person, for sure.
I think they're just really getting their own heads too. And like when they get down in a series, they're in their own head and there's just no coming back from it.
I thought it was going to be a little bit of like we saw G2 and Furia go through stage 1 and they lost. They went 0-2 and they kind of bounced their way back and got some rhythm. And that's what I thought would happen with this. You beat GamerLegion, you beat Gentlemates, and now you face a Na'Vi. But that series versus Na'Vi and that nuke, when you lose 3-13 and you do not get anything going, they just showed up so flat to that second map, and there was no rebounding from it.
I also think there's a reality where it's like before they won that event, I'd said that like I think they have a good enough team that on their best day and other teams' not best day, they can completely win. But I think there's a stark reality of like they probably played their best series of their life versus Vitality at the major, and they could not beat Vitality not playing their best. And I think that has to sit in your head heavy. And then it's like when you play at your worst, you're losing to Inner Circle and other teams, and it's like. The duality of that for a player's mental, like, cannot be good. It cannot be sustainable. But it's also like, when you look at the FaZe roster, it's like, there's no reinforcements coming. It's not like there's a young Mongolian prodigy you're about to bring on this team and solve all your problems. It's like, guys, this is it. We've
Unless
got
they
to
build
it
it themselves, right? So they have to invest into their ecosystem. I think the other thing, and I'm the first one to say I'm the diehard Mongolz fan on this show. I have seen the ceiling. Like, this looks like the ceiling to me, and I don't know if they can rebound from this without making a change, whether it's a mental change or something they're doing in practice or a player itself. And that's tough.
And when you look at the major coming up, it's like the last major, it felt like going into it, we were seeing an absolutely elite Vitality. We were seeing a still really, really, really close to elite Mongolz and Spirit. And then we were seeing not far behind them Falcons. And when we got there, 3 of them kind of slumped. Vitality stayed up. And then afterwards, everybody slumped. And then the Mongolz can play with them in the slump. But if everybody starts gearing back up for this major, the Mongolz are going to get left behind. They might be 8th going into this thing.
Good point. There were some other teams that had just some bad performances, and we're going to look at them. One of them is Astralis. They make it to the major. They are going to play there, but they just, I don't know. It's one of these things where they've made some roster changes. They add Magics, right? And so we've got a Magic on our team, another one, but I mean, I always hate on Magic, so I'm not going to do that. But it's just weird. You know, they lose to Aurora. Aurora's, once again, the unknown team. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Can Astralis turn it around? Are they a dark horse for you at all? Does everybody kind of know this is the death of that team?
I mean, I think the ceiling's not that high. But, like, I mean, the Aurora series was close, man. They could have won this. Like, this came down to a couple different rounds. I mean, I don't think this is anybody in particular's fault that they lost this series.
Yeah.
But I also don't think them or Aurora are competing to be a top 4 team in the world. So, like.
Davis and I were talking off show, and you were like, Aurora's always the Xantares show. If Xantares shows up, they smoke everybody. And he did in this series for sure. And then, I mean, they play against the Falcons.
Really good Falcons team. You ain't gonna beat them. Astralis, like you said, Astralis. Yeah, you ain't gonna beat them. I'm telling you.
Get Magic's there. Let's go.
I think Astralis has the really they have the experience obviously on the team, but like Dylan said, I just don't think their ceiling's really that high. Like I don't see them ever probably winning an event, but I think they could get things to where they could be like top 4, top 2 team, but they're not going to win.
They could win that like tier 2 like event that like it's maybe $1 million, but like not everybody shows up, like that kind of thing, right?
I don't know. I think I could see them being a dark horse. I think they have the potential to possibly be able to sneak some wins in there and maybe get a little bit of an easier bracket run.
Like
the
FaZe.
Mongolz, back at the last major and be able to get in there. Because I think their team on paper is pretty solid and like they're cool with like the whole national thing, keeping their team national. And it'd be cool for them and they're back at the major after 5 years. It kind of sets up the story. So I think it'd be really cool. And I think if Hooksy and all them and crew can get on board, I think they possibly could. And Device as well, if he could just get back into a little bit of his prime state from back in the day, I think they got.
And he was playing pretty well like a couple weeks ago. But
yeah, he has his moments.
Firepower.
One team I do want to mention on here, also GamerLegion.
Yeah.
GamerLegion played 3 of the best teams. I want to say it was Falcons,
It was Vitality,
and
for sure it
Mongolz.
was Vitality,
Yeah.
and Mongolz,
Yeah, it was those 3. And talk about, I mean, we just, hey, Mongolz aren't looking the best, but Falcons and Vitality at least, but talk about just a couple losses in that first round just made it really, really hard for them to be able to find anything.
Also for a young roster that is playing nothing but seasoned veterans.
Yeah. I also picked them to possibly make it to playoffs. That was my team from last week to like make it to the 3 wins, and they went 0-3.
Any other teams?
Could you bring up the bracket again? Maybe we could get a refresher from that.
Yeah,
maybe.
sure.
The team didn't do bad, but actually Navi's run to the end was
Yeah.
quite nice. Watching them actually beat, unfortunately for you guys, one of your teams. But I do think that they look good, and it's like that's the tough thing about this Navi roster is like I actually think the Navi roster, like you said, given the easy bracket, the Navi roster could make, if they were on that right side of the bracket at the major, they could make a finals with this roster. I don't think they're going to win, and I also think they're going to have to get an easy bracket. But dude, they're fun. Like at times, their games are really exciting to watch.
Yeah, totally. Inner Circle and Ho2 were the 2 that showed up for me. Obviously, coming from stage 1, being able to make it through and then play here. And they were competing with teams, right? They took some games off of Mongolz. They took some games off of Aurora. They played really well for the spot they're in. Now they get to drop down to tier 2 again and try and fight their way back. But those are 2 rosters that if they can keep improving, I think we'll see more of. And I would put some stock in them for the next thing coming up. Maybe not this major, but the next.
And same with the Gentleman's roster too.
Yeah.
They were frisky as well.
Agreed.
They showed that they can shake up events for sure.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Especially Vitality, but.
And it's nice to see some of those names get some notoriety. Normally what happens is, those guys will get scalped and put in a different team, and you don't actually see the organization. But maybe that doesn't happen this time.
No, this is how that happens. They end up doing good, and then that one player is popping off is then going to get bought and put onto another.
Yeah, the Falcons will spend like $2 million, then get DFR'd again. It just repeats.
That's a lot.
Hey,
let's go to the feed. I am talking about something that a graphic is going to tell me what it is because I don't remember this actual segment. Oh, Fragadelphia. The entire production team just breaks out laughter at me. I love you guys. Thank you. What was cool about Fragadelphia, one, Fnatic shows up, they get some VRS points, they're going to the major now, right? Especially at a small, we could call it tier 3 event. I don't even know. It's $10,000.
Respect NA like that.
Okay, but it is an NA only smaller event. But you could tell when you're watching the clips from it, it's kind of a homebody, a home crowd, right? Like there's a lot of people that are very passionate about that event. And then one of the things that is also a little bit nuanced and fun and passionate is the fact that they gave away some Harry Potter swag to one of the MVPs of the actual event. And this is kind of cool and different and fun. And like I said, small and quirky. And I like it because it's like grassroots esports stuff that happened because everyone was kind of celebrating Fnatic and 1, getting to the major and 2, winning the event.
Totally. I mean, I think stuff like this is sick. I mean, it is wild when you think this is like a cool event in America when you look at the past, 20 events in Europe.
Sure.
But that part kind of sucks. But I do think it's fun. You actually got to see the 4 final teams, all of them, if they won, they got into the major.
Yeah.
So it was very, very impactful. Everybody cared. There was a little bit of drama before the event, but I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, they low budget. There's not a ton of money behind this. It's been a grassroots thing because I've seen it for the past 10 years. This thing has grown a lot, and it's been a big deal. It was even a bigger deal at one point. It's probably gotten smaller, but it's cool that people are still passionate in doing it.
Totally.
Don't worry, we have no cries. He's going to bring us to the promised land. In ACS, we'll be back.
100%. We got one opportunity, right?
He's our donk.
Maybe we should.
Little FACEIT goblin.
Maybe we should find some more stock in some other players than just one.
Nah, Jake Sucky just did an interview with me. He's about to pop off.
Maybe he's the donk.
Actually, leading into my feed, too, this is actually perfect because well, I'll try it back in here in a second. But talking about ESL content again, I thought this was a really funny video. You guys should check it out if you haven't seen it. But it's m0NESY and Kaiosuke. They sit down and they basically are reading hater comments from HLTV. So they go underneath their matches and they're just reading comments. And as you see the graphic come up, there'll be one comment. But I have a couple that I've written down. Yeah, there's the one that they read off. Kaiosuke is like a donk from Temu. Then I have a couple more that's like losing duels to Bodigan, LMAO. And then this is my favorite one. Kiosuke didn't want to become a decoy for donk. I respect that. And exactly, that's so true. And that was what I was going to say, tie it back into No Cries. We don't need other good players. We just need 4 decoys for him.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That's right. I mean, he has not made this roster go to the stratosphere yet, right? But we're in one of those things where we've seen the Falcons show up, win some stuff. They've gone slower. It's about right before the major. Can they pull off this win? Can they go to the next? And a lot of it weighs on his shoulders. You know, m0NESY too. There's a lot of folks that need to step up on that roster to try and throw this one to the finish line so they can have some confidence going to the next one for sure.
And there's a bunch of comments that were talking a bunch of trash about him, but it's funny to see them read it and just be lighthearted about it. And like a couple of them, they accepted it. Like one was talking about m0NESY's been the worst player on the roster for the last few weeks, and he's just like,
yep.
Yeah, they know. They definitely know as a group for sure.
It's also fun too because it's like it finally feels like in a weird spot where like getting to the point where like starting to talk more about some of these players. We did have a lot of like no media for most of the Russian-born players, so you didn't get to see a lot of m0NESY, you didn't get to see a lot of Donk and Spirit and VP and a lot of these guys. Now you're actually starting to see them again. And like they have cool personalities and like these are people that like you want to interact with. But I do think this makes m0NESY kind of feel like a little bit more emotional than maybe he should. It's like when he's down, he kind of feels down, but when he's up, he feels up, and it's like, dude, I bet Apex right now, he's just filling out a notebook, just being like, let me play. Let me get ready. I got half these comments written down.
Oh, that would be funny if they show up in the middle
Just
of the
to
game.
shout them out across. That would be hilarious.
donk from Temu.
Go ahead, Dylan.
Yeah, so for mine, this one is in a little bit of a different direction, especially given the last one. If we want to rip this up real quick. Nope. Okay. Normally, I'm a Vitality hater, so this is why this is a little bit different. Apex posted this, but it's from HLTV initially. Currently, Vitality is celebrating their 7th year in Counter-Strike.
Oh, cool.
And I'd be willing to wager in those 7 years, they have become the precipice standard of Counter-Strike. Like, they have dethroned Astralis. Like, it is now, like, they are what you look at as an organization. It is no longer NIP, VP, Navi, any of those others. It is probably Vitality. And I think the thing that really put them on the map, which is, again, super cool for them, is they won that home Paris major, the last CSGO major, on, like, what was kind of a miracle run. And, like, they weren't expected to win it. They made a crazy run. They won on a home court advantage. And then now this year, capping off another major when they were dominant. Like, it's been really cool to watch their journey over the past 7 years. And, like, super thankful for the Bees and Vitality for coming into the space. Like, they've given us something really good in Counter-Strike.
Yeah, 100%.
Agreed. Organization, I like following. Yeah.
Wow.
That was beautiful.
Yep.
That's beautiful coming from the hater.
It's also wild.
It's amazing.
When you see that, it was like they're like, yeah, we're taking 3 veterans with 2 unknowns, and Zywoo was one of the 2 like kind of freebies they were picking up, and it's like, whew, that panned out.
Yeah,
that definitely panned out.
Yeah, no, I mean Vitality, and throughout this last season of Counter-Strike, I mean they have been the standard of Counter-Strike. They were playing the most precise and dominant, coordinated Counter-Strike. Unfortunately, yeah, they are going through a little slump right now. But that's the thing, and that's why, like, when we go back to the others, I feel like the Vitality still gets put at #1 for most of them because it's like the moment they snap out of that slump and just get back to what they were doing, it's like we could easily see that run perfectly again, no problem. Because the other teams that could step up to maybe now that the Falcons, because they're doing great this run, if they can actually step it up, could be a problem in Spirit. And then my list, that's really about it.
I feel like the major's really going to tell the difference for me on Vitality because it's like they had their really big run. They know that they're qualified for this major for a while now, and it's like they have had a slump, but also they've known they're qualified for the major, so they don't really need to try necessarily as hard to win points, win VRS ranking. They know they're there. If they don't play well at the next major, then maybe I'll say that they're kind of falling off. But
I think this one. I think ESL Season Pros, like Season 22, like I think what's cool about it is we are going to get a snapshot for the major. Right? Like these are teams that should be able to do the same thing they're going to do in 3 weeks. Not a lot changes in 3 weeks. Your mindset might change, but you're not going to come up with like a new strategy that wins you a bunch of rounds. It's going to be a little bit give and take. And right now we're seeing that anybody has kind of got a little bit of space in front of them because not everybody's playing the best Counter-Strike. It's not looking super clean. It's looking a little bit unkept. So if they're going to do it, I think they do it today. If they don't do it today, they're not going to do it at the major, in my opinion.
It's also interesting too because like, as wild as it is for all the other orgs, I mean, Falcons are going to spend money no matter what. They're going to try to buy their way to the chips, and that's their plan, right?
What?
Yeah, it's crazy. But when you look at like Vitality, it's like they won that Paris major a couple years ago, and then since then, like the 2 years after that, they were in the mix. I mean, that thing said they won 21 trophies over the years. They won 6 this year. They won in the League Sevens. I mean, dude, they're still averaging 3 or 4 a year through all of that.
Yeah.
And even last year, they got a couple big wins in, but then at the end of the year, they didn't perform well at the Shanghai major. So what do? You go and sign Rops, and it's like, it now feels like they're such a dynamic team that is like so like well respected. It's like the issue with the Shoss back in the day is you had to have national talent. With Apex running that roster right now, it's like, dude, if they lose this major and they're not looking good, they're gonna get an insane free agent. Like they're gonna reload. Like I have the most confidence in this team to like not go away. Whereas like we've watched Navi fall, we've watched Astralis fall, we've watched VP fall, but those were mostly national orgs. This is the first time we've seen like an international like demon squad.
They're gonna get dunked.
Dude, it would be insane.
Vitality with Donk. It's because of the show matches. I who plays them is like, yo, we gotta need this guy.
Because I was in the back row of the Apex right now, like, bro, trust. Just like, I don't care who. Anybody but me and you.
Messy or Flames, just pick one.
Yeah, I don't care.
All right, Pat, give us your last feed.
All right, so I guess I'm going to end this off with maybe potential spicy one for some people. Obviously, we heard over the week that ESL Impact is going to be no more. For those that don't know, that is the women's Counter-Strike. And for me personally, I think it's sad to see that it's gone because like we've had plenty of discussions on here and stuff about like women in esports and where they belong, should they play with the men, yada, yada. But like for Counter-Strike, this was like their league, and sure, it's nowhere near as big. It will never probably be as big, but this was like their outlet, their place to play, and it's sad to see it be shut down whenever they're getting backed by the Saudis with all their money and like the price increases with tickets for like the next major and all this. It really is quite the shame to see it go.
Yeah, but are you surprised?
With the Saudis, no, I'm not surprised.
Exactly.
I think it's sad, but I think one thing that was very interesting to me about what you said is having a platform for them to be able to compete on the same stage as a man. And so, in my opinion, video games is the perfect place for that. There's really, everybody's the same. There's no physical difference between the two beings like there is in a regular sport. And so I think that should be the path forward, is allowing them to play with the men on the big stage if they can do that.
Yeah, to me, it's also interesting as well because it's like, when you think about this, and this is like, dude, it's going to sound brutal, but like, the amount of people talking about this on the internet and commenting on it is so much greater than the amount of people that ever watch this. And like, that's the fundamental problem. It's like, dude, if you cared about this, you should have watched it. Like, and you didn't. And that's why, if you're the Saudis, it's like, to some degree, like, you can disagree with their politics, but I don't think for them this is a political matter. This is for sure like, hey, thing cost us money. Thing doesn't give us return. Why keep doing thing? And if this was something that would have been built out, and it's like, when you look at like women's professional soccer, like from a World Cup perspective, like a lot of people watch that. They make a lot of money. They're going to keep doing that. It's not going away. So, but this is like, it just feels like everybody on the internet just wants to be warriors and complain about something that they've never watched, never cared to watch. And you maybe like to tweet when it happened twice a year.
Well, why did they pay so much for the Falcons players then? Because they ain't getting no return there.
I don't disagree.
So why don't they just can the Falcons?
Technically, they did get a return because the Falcons has placed enough to make some money on the prize.
That probably hasn't even paid for one of their players.
No, but hey,
But that's the habit.
Yeah, but they got that big prize pool for winning the Esports World Cup, which was completely a format that was meant for everyone to have equal competition.
That's also the case for pretty much any esports player that you buy that's a top dog nowadays. Like, you're not going to make your money back from winning 1 or 2 events. It's going to be multiple events you have to win to get the price tag back.
It's also like if you're Spirit, right? Like, you're not going to make the margin on Donk, but you're going to make it on the 4 people beside of him.
Yeah, and my thing was when I saw the biggest complainers of this, the people that are most sad, are the people that benefited from it financially. The players that were getting played to play in the league, right? And if they're complaining about it the most, one, you can create an environment where you can have women gamers, you can play and run leagues or whatever. It doesn't have to be paid for in the same way. And part of it is where the money goes is where the complaints are going to go. And so they're not necessarily going to have the same free ride that they did have before, which I can understand, and that's an issue for them, right? And I can feel for them, but ultimately it has to be an ROI positive thing. And it's not. I don't think it's because they're women, they can't play. It's an ROI thing that because they're not making money, they're not going to do the thing.
Well, no, I mean, I don't disagree with that point. I mean, obviously this stuff doesn't necessarily make money. It's just all, to me, it's just all a shame because it's gone. I didn't personally watch it. I don't watch women's Counter-Strike.
Sure.
It's just not my thing. But it's like, it's a shame to see it go, just like it's a shame to see Gears of War esports go.
Yep.
It's a shame to see Halo go. It's a shame to see all these things go because they don't get the ROIs.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they make a women's league get that, but it's still, nonetheless, it's still sad to see for it to go. I mean, I'm not some woke justice warrior who's going to get on here and be like, all right, women, you're being disrespectful. It's just, it's a shame that it's gone. I wish it could continue because it is an outlet for them. It is a way for them to show their skill expression. And that's not there. Maybe it'll grassroot itself.
Yo,
that's cool too.
I would love to see what Davis said. I would love a woman on one of these rosters that can show up and just be. And I think they can do it, right? I think it's very possible for them to do it. And I'm waiting for that moment to happen and for it to matter.
I think the problem is you're at an impasse of like, you want that, but then what Twitch and the internet wants is kitty plays and other people like that.
Yeah,
it's like,
sure.
that is what is entertaining. And if you're a woman in Counter-Strike, like in the nicest way, if you're an attractive woman in Counter-Strike and you want to open skins and do that kind of thing, like you're probably going to make a lot of money. If you're a really good woman in Counter-Strike, you're probably not going to make as much money. Sure. Doesn't really necessarily need the talent.
Well, they're gonna. One of the things I have seen is that I don't think this is gonna die here. I think there will be a substitute for these folks to go play in. So there's gonna be something that comes behind it. It might not be as sexy and big and have as much money behind
might get
it.
more views.
That's right. Potentially, yes, for sure. Okay, cool. Let's go to the next thing, which is my favorite part of every show that we do are our pick'ems, where we talk about who is gonna win ESL Pro League Season 22. And I can guarantee you guys one thing.
You're not picking Mongolz.
I can't pick the Mongolz.
Yeah,
But that's the only thing I can guarantee. Let's go to our first match. I believe it's FaZe versus Spirit for the first one. Go ahead and throw it up for us.
Is anybody crazy? Drum roll.
I know for a fact I'm in fact crazy. I
What?
liked FaZe against Spirit.
You hate your
You're
life.
going to have to explain yourself, sir.
I definitely knew I was gonna get into a little pickle with the team on this one. I know we've talked a lot about Spirit. Spirit look great. Spirit are definitely on paper the team to pick of this. I just love the storyline of FaZe winning this. I think it's so cool that you can grab a rain and show up and beat this roster. Now, do I think that will happen? Very unlikely. I think I should get 10-1 odds. If I put $10 down, I should get 100 on this one, right? Maybe even 200, okay? Because it's definitely far-fetched. But from a FaZe storyline perspective, this would be really dope. And I think it would be really, really interesting for the Jacob conversation, for whatever happens next with that roster. For Rain, too. Everything benefits on the FaZe side. Now, it's going to be tough to bet against Dog, for sure.
Who on that team is going to kill him?
Who's going to kill who?
Karrigan.
Karrigan?
Karrigan's got him.
You're taking Karrigan.
No, 2v1s. It's fine.
Okay.
No, Karrigan don't 1v1.
I think that would be a flawless victory.
You think so?
He might get a smoke kill with an MP9.
Okay, side rant real quick. First to 10, 1v1 Duncan Karrigan. How many kills do you think he gets?
0.
Think he gets 0?
think
You don't
zero.
think he gets 1 kill?
Can you use util?
No, this is just straight shooting.
0.
You two.
For sure 0.
Not many.
For
He
sure.
might,
zero.
he'll get a couple.
You think he can't get 1?
I think he gets 2.
If he uses an op and pre-fires, he has a chance.
No, this
to
would be
get
like AK v AK.
no shot. 0. It's literally 0.
I don't think 0, but maybe 2.
You can get lucky headshots. That's
Yeah, you
happens.
could,
I think
you could just tap.
I don't disagree, but you're gonna have a picosecond before he puts one between your eyes.
all right. I've derailed us. I'm sorry. We'll go back.
Let's go second
Next
match. I don't remember who it is. Just throw him up there.
Vitality.
Oh,
Whatever y'all
wow.
pick.
Who they play?
Crazy.
Vitality versus.
The Furia?
I think it's 0.
Oh, yeah, this.
That's why we all picked Vitality.
No, actually, this I think will be it stands to be a reasonably close
That's
match.
actually true. We got
If Vitality
Fallen.
is playing like they currently have been playing, it's going to be a close match.
That's
If
crazy.
they
I'm
play-
surprised nobody picked.
Yeah.
If Malado is popping off with the op, never know.
Yeah, I saved my spice for the next one, so that's why I went conservative.
I put it all in the first one just so we're clear.
Yeah, I
There's no
know.
more spice coming from me. That's the one you.
Safe picks from here on out.
It's crazy. I just realized this. Talking about Furia, they just came off of that big win, and then they obviously had a weird stage 1.
No, they didn't have a weird state. They looked terrible.
They did look terrible, right? And I think the stage 1, which event where they beat the Mongolz? It was the last.
Fissure 2?
Fissure 2, that's right. And so, I mean, they have rebounded since stage 1, though. They went 0-2. They kind of came back. They made it to the playoffs. They have not looked great, but we know they have the fire inside of them. So I think you're right in the fact this will be closer than we expect.
Yeah. I hope it's not.
I think they got the curse, just like G2 had before. It's like they win and
Pretty
then
short-term curse.
then they
It
just
showed up.
boom. It just happens. You win, and
Hey.
then all of a sudden you just like You just play like
They
trash
at
after
least
that.
made the playoffs like other #1 rated in the world teams.
We'll see him
That's
at the
nice,
major
sure.
for sure. Let's go to the third match. Who is it? Navi and
Mouse.
That's the only one that matters in this set.
oh, I knew you were going to pick Navi. Oh, you got some support
Hey.
from your buddy.
No, actually, I'm pretty sure you picked him.
This
I thought I picked Navi.
Okay, then I'm Mouse and you're Navi. It's split.
Oh,
Okay, I was gonna say I did not think I picked Navi.
I like this matchup. Me and Davis versus Dylan and Pat Moore. Okay, would you like to go first?
I think
or would you like
Danny
Davis
did.
and I go first?
So,
I mean, I definitely think Navi are going to go in as the underdogs for sure, but they've just been a spicy, fun team. Mouse have been like, it was weird. The first half of the year, they were like consistently top, but not top enough. And then recently, they've been consistently not top enough. They've been like just below the top. It's just very odd. They've been playing inconsistent. It's like you don't get the same Torzy every match, and that's what you need is the main focus of that team is you need Torzy to get rolling. And it's like this Navi team keeps doing weird, frisky things. Like I don't know if it was them playing well or Mongolz playing bad, but dude, they made them look bad. And I think it comes down to map pick because like, dude, their nuke right now is looking lethal.
Mouse is really good at nuke too as well, so that'll be an interesting clash if they do go on that map. I don't know. I just think Mouse is.
Mouse has been quiet recently because they haven't been playing in tournaments recently. You haven't seen them because they haven't been playing. They're still top 4. They're still going to be very admirable opponent for Navi. I think Navi is still the underdog for sure. But I would put my stock in Mouse. I think Mouse is going to be a big contender in the major coming up too. They've kind of gotten kicked around a little bit, and I think that they have something to prove on this one.
That'll be the hometown major for Torzy too.
But even when Mouse is there, you still don't see him. I think
Well,
he gives Vitality crap for being the most like auraless team. I think Mouse is the most auraless team. They are the most stale, boring team on the planet, and they were doing decent, and now just it feels like they're not hardly doing decent anymore, and they've fallen off a little bit. And this is Navi's chance. My spicy take, just like you.
No,
I
I
think this is the story for Navi.
I think Spinks is a fun dude to be around. I think he's a cool dude. I think the problem is like Jimmy's a little bit of an awkward guy.
Dude,
Torzy's
they got
a little
no
bit of an
fans.
awkward guy.
They got no aura.
Their coach
They got a cool stadium thing they built.
Their
for their
coach,
fans
yeah,
to
that's
come
also
to.
sick. Their
But,
coach
I
is
mean, they
cool.
filled out like 10
Spinks is really
seats.
cool.
I like Torzy.
It is weird
I
to me
like
though
Torzy,
that like everybody looks at them and is like, "Yo, they don't play a lot, so it's easy to forget about them." They play in more events than Spirit,
I agree.
which is crazy. But it's like I think Spirit is like you got to worry about Dunk, so we're always going to talk about Spirit. But it's like I also don't know why both of them don't
Mouse
play
normally
more.
follows Spirit too, so if they're going to be there, they're both going to be there.
Dude, they both got to play more. Like this is why you keep getting forgotten.
Agreed. All right, round 4, Falcons and 3D Max.
I feel like this one
Ooh.
should all be green.
Green across the board.
Verde.
Yeah, if Nick was here, there would be a 3D Max in there.
The worst part is when I think about what is most probable to upset, probably statistically, it is the Falcons and Vitality match. Those are probably the 2 biggest upset probabilities, and we went straight laced in both of them.
Yeah, I think that's true because I mean, like the Falcons previously have been known to throw countless amount of times, but it's like I said earlier, this looks like their moment. Like I know I just said that for Navi, like it could be their moment, but the way Falcons have been playing, it's like they are making this stand right now to look like, hey, our roster is finally clicking. Monacy is finally doing good. Nico is dropping insane amount of rating score that I haven't seen in a long time. And it's looking like their tournament to win. And there's only a couple teams that can stand in their way.
Dude, Davis is like,
And
Davis
it's not,
loves
it's
this.
not 3D
Dude,
Max.
Davis loves
Yeah,
this.
That was a great speech right there.
But hey, they easily could still just throw this game against 3D Max and it just be the same old, same old.
what's crazy is the last time they won an event, they got carried by a player. And where's that player now?
Where?
I don't know.
I think he's just
Still waiting on
the
a call.
bench somewhere,
Dexter
yeah.
is still waiting on a call, guys.
He's a bench warmer.
And it's like that dude's the last guy that carried you to an event.
I
That's
just
crazy.
want to. We started the show with our top 10 plays, which we only watched 5. One of them was Maka.
Yeah.
Maka got a sweet 3K with that AK.
Yeah.
It's weird because Nick has been calling this behind the scenes a little bit. 3D Max was his team to kind of watch for this when he called them to be able to make the playoffs. They did make the playoffs. They're playing against the good Falcons. I'm a Falcons fan. I want the Falcons to be there. But I would say 3D Max have a shot in this series.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not like it's an easy one for them to be able to take over. They're going to have challenges and moments, especially if we see the Falcons that shows up and sometimes
Like
they
they
just
had in the
suck.
playoffs.
Yeah, sometimes
That-
they just show up and
that side of the bracket's pretty weak too.
Yeah.
It's one of those where like most realistically, if we assume the normalcy happens, you're going to have Spirit playing Vitality on one side of the bracket, and that is going to be a absolute bloodbath. Assuming they're both playing well.
No, it'll
And
be
the-
FaZe.
Yeah, yeah.
FaZe right now.
And then on the other side, you're going to have most probably Falcons v. Mals, which if everything goes according to plan, like this is the easiest route for the Falcons. This is your
right.
time. Will you throw this? I don't know.
I kind of need it.
But like,
Yeah.
it is your path.
This also seems like the early year Counter-Strike, where those 4 teams were like your 4 teams to watch out, especially right after they bought Monacy and they were actually playing pretty decent, the Falcons. It was these 4 teams. So hopefully, I hope it makes it to that matchup in the semifinals.
It is weird because I feel like that whole time it was always Spirit and Vitality on opposite ends to get to the middle.
Yeah.
But then now it's like, oh, we've got the
Put 'em on the same
Falcons,
side.
and then now what's happening?
It's like they want them to play an early match.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
don't want them to be grand finals. It's like match them up as early as possible.
Yep.
I've enjoyed our time together, gentlemen.
have too.
But I have to tell you, we do have to come to an end. It's been about an hour. We've talked about Counter-Strike. What were you going to say? Don't go for it.
Who are you
Sorry.
picking? Who are you picking to win this weekend?
Oh,
at
we
least
gotta
gotta
do
say
winners?
this. Yeah,
we can do
winners.
winners. What do I have to go first?
Oh,
Who am I picking
I'll
to
go
win?
first.
No, I know who you're going to pick,
pick.
Davis. Ow.
Oh, it's Falcons, isn't it?
Yep.
That's crazy.
Davis got the Falcons.
Yep.
I'm going to go Falcons, too.
Wow.
I'll do Falcons.
Ugh.
I think no,
gonna
actually,
get first
no,
rounded.
I say this.
Pat, tell me something good.
Dude, what about Mals? They beat the Falcons in semis and then play against Spirit.
a difficult one.
Dude,
I think this is
Well, under like 5 minutes ago, you said, I think this is Falcons' event.
Well, he
Hey,
said this is what they have to do. They need it for sure.
they need it for sure.
It's true.
I'm just saying what he said.
Yeah.
I did say that. I think it is their event to win, but do I actually think they're gonna win it? No, it's gonna be the boys, Vitality, back in it.
Wow.
The slump ends here. Pre-major, we're getting in a dub. They're gonna make Spirit look like easy work.
I'm going the inverse of that. I think Spirit's going to make Falcons look like easy work.
I knew he was gonna do the Spirit play. You always you
He
love
loves-
I
picking
do.
Spirit. You love
He
picking.
does.
Well, they literally in a
Spirit.
friendly match right now. You just had Donk and them, just have a good time. They
get
kind of
it.
pooed on Monacy, you know. But Ksoki was there. He did look good.
I'm going Falcons.
That's crazy.
I'm going Falcons.
That's crazy.
I want FaZe to win the lose.
Yeah.
Thought about
beat
it
them.
again.
I'm not
Thought
gonna
about
take
it
it
hard.
against that. So.
Yeah, can't.
I was gonna say Navi. That was like my first instinct. I wanted
that
to
would be
just
fun.
go with the underdog pick, but I couldn't.
Dude, Navi claps
couldn't
Falcons.
see 'em.
Dude,
It was
that would
gonna be
go hard.
Let's be real.
Ugh.
That would be kind of cool.
Dude,
Dude,
that-
if Navi wins, I'm gonna be upset now that I didn't pick it.
Well, once again, I am sad that our time has ended. I just want you to know at home, one, that we care about you as a viewer. We'd appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. We make this content because we love talking about it, but we want to hear your opinion. So go ahead and go down below. Tell somebody from the show of an opinion you liked about them or something maybe you hated about them, okay? But don't do it like in a way that's like really aggressive and like violent. Just like you can just tell them, hey, maybe you should think about this one. But we've enjoyed our time together, and thanks for watching Queued Up, and we'll see you next week for another exciting episode where we talk about the playoffs.
Peace out.
Bye, guys.